back. Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins here, standing by live, taking your calls from around the world in regards to the UFO phenomenon happening right now. Third Phase Moon is the place to share your UFO story to the world right now. We've just gotten back from a major hurricane. Well, it went down to a tropical storm right here in the Big Island, but we got hit by ICEL, and we got hit pretty hard. We had the power shut down, and that's why we didn't have our radio show last week. And parts of the Big Island, it's still yet to recover power. Limbs have taken down homes, but no deaths to report of, thank God. The prayers came in, and they were answered. Nobody got hurt extremely. Apparently, there was one man that was pinned to a tree for 4 days right here on the Big Island, and he just was found recently. He was just about on his deathbed under a tree, and he finally got some help. But Third Phase Moon is back. We're back online taking your calls from around the world. We've been quite busy. Once the power went back up, videos were coming in, and I got to say, there's some really good ones that has come in. Let's go over a couple of them. I got Brent Cousins right here standing by with me, so we're going to kind of go over some of the videos that have been submitted during our blackout over here on the Big Island, but we're back. Brent, tell me about this. We call it this incredibly close flying saucer caught on video. I was saying it was one of the best of 2014, but then we got some other great ones. But this one kind of resembles some kind of a bat wing of some sort. Then it kind of morphs into a flying saucer of some kind. Brent, what's your thoughts on this video?
Absolutely. It's good footage. It was submitted by Tim, I believe, and we're taking a look at it right now. At first, we thought here at Third Phase Moon that is a possible drone. People are familiar with that out there, but hey, we're taking a closer look at it. We're zooming in, and what we're seeing is this thing's too large to be a drone. It's too steady, too stable. You know, go look at what drones are doing right now, and the characteristics of this flying saucer, unidentified flying object, is no drone. What do you think, Blake?
Well, I'd have to say drones are getting very advanced right now, and there's new technology out there, but this video doesn't seem like it's any sort of drone. It's too big to be a drone. You see it kind of going behind the house, and the roof, it almost looks almost the size of a house, some people are saying right here. And drones obviously are no bigger than the size of your, regular maybe baby carriage of some sort. What I'm thinking is that this could be reverse-engineered military technology, and aliens have something to do with it, but it might not be entirely alien. Brent?
You might be right there, Blake. We reached out to Tim, and we're waiting for him to give us more conclusive proof on what he actually captured here, but we're pretty excited on what we're getting here at Third Phase Moon. It's been a busy week. What happened at Joshua Tree was quite amazing. Go ahead and go into some detail, Blake.
Well, the Joshua Tree, we sent out, they have this thing, Contact in the Desert, every year. The top ufologists from around the world show up, and, it's a big meeting of the minds getting together, disclosures being shared. But what we found fascinating was Dr. J. Andy Elias came across Linda Moulton Howell, famous ufologist, been on Ancient Aliens, and you've seen her on TV, but she had this photo shared to her right there within moments of this meeting with George Norrie, George Tsoukalos, and Eric Von Daniken and George Norrie. But there's this photograph that was captured right there on location of what looks to be an alien. It's straight up, and apparently it wasn't seen with the naked eye, but after the fellow was going over the photos, he noticed this and immediately shared this with the public. We shared it with Third Phase Moon, and it kind of went, it's up to like 30,000 hits just in a day and a half. The alien cryptoid makes a major public visit at this meeting of minds. What is behind Eric Von Daniken's shoulder here, Brent?
That is a big question. We received photos from other people that were on the ground here. We might just share them here tonight on YouTube, but we're looking at two of the photos. Right now we're seeing the one with the alien. There's quite a bit of pixelization in there because, hey, we're zooming up about 1,000%, so those pixels are going to pop out. We can't help that. But could this be an interdimensional being is what people are saying? We also got the other photo that we're comparing it to, and they're saying that there's a lady standing over Von Daniken. I'm not quite sure if this lady morphed into an alien because people are saying, it's just an image that's being morphed out and it's nothing more than an alien. But I'm thinking that she is maybe morphine, or is it interdimensional? I'm not so sure, Blake. What do you think?
Well, we're going to try to get, the comparison photographs. It's not, we're not sure if we're going to share this on Third Phase Moon. All we know is there's another photographer there that captured pretty much the same image, but there's a lady in the background holding a long lens for taking shots of the event. So whether it's a distortion of the lens or maybe even the lady herself is a shapeshifter, all I know is it's an incredible photo. We always put out this kind of stuff when you get it here at Third Phase Moon. It's not really up for me and Brent to decide what it is because we have our own opinions of what it is. But, hey, everybody out there in the world, they have their own opinions, and we just want to share it right here at Third Phase Moon. That's what it's all about, sharing it to the world. Brent, this other video, we say it shocks the world. It came in via Google Drive. Somebody sent this into our email address via Google Drive. We downloaded the video, wanted and was blown away by it. Wanted to get contact with the person, found out the video was not able for preview anymore. So we decided, well, we got it now. We're going to share it right now, exclusive. We put it up, and people, again, are saying this is a drone of some sort. Drones, there's no quad choppers going on. You don't see any quad choppers underneath. Usually a drone has some kind of a propulsion device. We don't see any here. And also the reflections and the refractions of the light. You can't fake this kind of stuff, Brent. What do you think of these refractions besides the element of this the ship itself?
The light actually, it tells a tale. That's where the proof of smoking gun goes off. There's no CGI going here to try and produce a lens flare that's producing 1 billion pixels on the TV screen right there. It's fairly impossible to do. I don't even think top Hollywood FX artists out there could even pull this off. It'd be too time-consuming. It'd probably take a year to render something like that. The lens flare is what seals me, and I really believe this is a really fantastic catch and some of the best that we got here right at Third Phase of Moon.
Well, absolutely. I think people are still they're comparing it to Ed's footage. Ed, just last year, the phenom of ufology, he's gotten the best UFO photographs, videos, I think, so far of 2013. People compare this to Ed's footage. It's not Ed's footage, but definitely looks like what Ed's captured. So there's the same basically kind of looking ships in different parts of the world. This is the real deal, people. In our opinions, this isn't a drone, and it's definitely not CGI. Something's in the sky. It's unidentified. I don't know what it is, but it definitely looks extraterrestrial in origin, if you ask me. Let's take some callers from around the world right now. And the number to call in to talk to Third Phase of Moon Live is area code 347-934-0378. Let's go to a person by the name of Thank You 292 joining us right here. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Blake, this is Sammy. How's it going? I haven't called in a long time.
Hey, Sammy, you're doing good, man. We're glad to be safe after that kind of tropical storm hit us kind of hard. It was quite scary at 4 or 5 in the morning when those 65, 70-mile-an-hour gusts was coming through.
Yeah, definitely. I watched both of your videos on that, and I heard what y'all said about how there hadn't been an earthquake in 100 years or something, and you got 2 earthquakes on that day. That's just really strange. Very strange.
Correction on that. We have a lot of earthquakes here in the Big Island, and in 2006 we had a 7.0, and it pretty much rocked for a good 1 minute. I thought the ground was about to liquefy. We're on the largest active volcano in the world right now, Kilauea, but it's the first time in 100 years, since 1987, I think, that a hurricane actually hit the Big Island of Hawaii, and that's that was my statement. So we had 2 earthquakes and a hurricane in one day. It was quite it was a wild day. That hey. Welcome back to the show. What else? Did you look at some of these videos that we put out? Sounds like you keep on.
Yeah, definitely. I watched that video, and it was definitely interesting as to what it is, and definitely the drone technology with that DJI Phantom and all that stuff. I mean, people could make some pretty complex looking drones if they were doing it. But yeah, it's definitely interesting footage, and I always appreciate y'all are always trying to, pilfer through all the videos that you get and let us see the best ones for sure. I'm always watching the show. I just haven't had the time to call in, but yeah, definitely it's interesting footage to say the least. Third Phase of Moon is really, really helping a lot of people not feel like they're alone in this in this whole tribulation experience of disclosure, because it really has been. It almost reminds me of the prohibition of cannabis. I mean, it was demonized for so long, and now here we have 25 states that have medical marijuana, and people, it's starting to slowly but surely, come into the consciousness of the public, like, hey, this is not such a bad thing here. But definitely, we're entering that age where drones are just everywhere, and then that's another thing. Drones are going to be able to capture UFOs, and then definitely be able to see them better. You know what I mean? Like, it's these DJI fans.
Go
ahead.
We've released that video from Utah, in the Utah hills. And I forgot the credit, but we have it on Third Phase. We're going to play it right. We're going to put it on this overlay right now and give credit where credit's due. That's what we like. Is if anybody shoots it, there's so much rip-off bots out there on YouTube. Just they bot it, and it's just an enigma. Just really bad on people stealing people's content out there and not even getting permission from the people that shot the UFOs. That's all we ever try and do at Third Phase is give them the credit that they deserve. And some people just don't want to give their identity up, and we'll never upload anything without permission, and that's what we do right here at Third Phase. And you're exactly right that we feel humbled by the people that have come forward and shared their stories for the first time. They don't even tell their husbands, wives, family members, and they come out on live radio just as kind of an anonymous place to just let it out, and feel that they're not going to be scrutinized behind it. But and bring it up that Utah sighting. It's definitely he shot it with his, I think it's a quad chopper 1080. I'm not exactly sure. High tech, I think a $10,000 rig, and then he caught this streak of lights coming across the ridge mountains. People say it's a sun flare or a glare, but we zoom in on it. You see two different things. It's unidentified. Did you get to see that video we posted up?
No, I actually didn't. I'll go check it out, and I definitely wanted to also give you guys kind of an invite. And I'm very, very familiar with a lot of. I live in Texas. I live in Dallas, Texas, but I definitely would love for you guys, or to come out to Texas sometime and visit some places out here like Aurora. I don't know if you've ever heard of that story. There was a UFO crash in the city of Aurora in like the 1890s. There's actually a historical plaque that's in the town, and here in Dallas, the UT. They have a little, college here, pretty well-known college, and they actually have NASA. They develop a lot of parts for NASA spacecraft here, and it's been said that the UT went down there, excavated the soil, they found something, they brought it back to the college, and there's some really interesting sightings. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was on national news. Several airline photographers or airplane enthusiasts, they were in Amarillo, which where my family is from, and that's where Pantex is. That's where it's the only nuclear assembly and disassembly plant in the whole United States. And there was a boomerang-shaped craft that was flying straight towards Pantex, which is the United States' most protected facility out of all the things that they have. But definitely y'all should get over here and see what's going on, because there's a lot of history in Texas, and there's a lot of states that it borders, you got New Mexico and Texas border. Y'all could head out there, and that's where Roswell is. And I would definitely love if y'all, and I know that y'all spend so much time and it takes so many resources to do that kind of stuff, but I just think that y'all have such a great following to where, that I would support. I would give you $20. If you said, hey, we're trying to go on this tour and get some really good footage, because y'all's footage in Hawaii is just beautiful. I mean, y'all have got great photographers.
Well, the thing is, we get videos from around the world, and I think with our connections through Third Phase Moon, we're reaching almost 200,000 subscribers. We got a lot of support out there. One of these days, Third Phase Moon, and we will do our on-location ground reporting. And I know with people like you, we're like, hey, we're going to go to this part of the country. We're going to go to this part of the world. Can we have a place to stay? and be set up because we're only got limited funds. We're not the big major network guys that come in. You know, it's just a small crew. Hey, you mind if we hang out kind of thing? And I appreciate the offer. If we ever come to Texas, which I'm pretty sure we will, why not? We should go to these major hotspots and do on-the-ground investigation reporting for sure. Hey, man, stick around. We're going to take some calls. They're kind of lining up, so we're going to get right to it.
Oh, definitely.
Let's go to area code 724. Thanks for joining us. Third Phase Moon, you're live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Vince. Hey, but I live in the southwestern part of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and this is about 2 years ago, maybe about 3 years ago now, and I'm sitting inside my house, all right? My mother comes in now. She never believes about UFOs. She's totally against it. She tells me, hey, come outside and take a look at this. I live on the top of a really big hill. I can see for about a mile and a half out. I see this circular craft floating above, you know, the other side of this hill. It's a Christmas tree farm, and it goes into a cloud. So I sit out there for 15 minutes, all right? The cloud, nothing came out of the cloud. And next thing I know is this cloud comes right over my house about 50 yards away, breaks apart. Inside this cloud, no lie, is a, like, circular, I guess you'd call it a pancake disc.
Wow, we always go into drones. Is it a drone? And some of these questions seem a little redundant, but let me ask them. Did it make any sound?
Well, you know, it didn't make any sound, and I was hearing about the drone call earlier. And here's the thing, though. Well, I can't see it was being a drone. There's actually there's an Air Force base probably about an hour drive from here, big Air Force base. And the Apaches literally fly over my house, AC-130s. I could see the guys' faces. That's how close I am to when they fly over. And this thing, I actually had my video camera. I was recording it, and when I played it back, unfortunately, nothing came up on the camera. But as it slowly floated away, only way I could explain it is if it was like a flashlight in the sky. It just turned invisible as it slowly drifted away.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. What did you, were anybody with you at the time, or were you by yourself? And that's kind of strange. Some people do see these things with the naked eye, and then when they start to film them, there's nothing on the camera, and then vice versa, it goes the other way, where you don't see it, but they're filming something, and then something comes up.
I mean, it was 65 yards away. I mean, UFOs are part of my hobby, and I keep target setups for my archery, 25, 50 yards, and this thing was 65 yards away. It just slowly, when the cloud broke up, you just saw it there, just hovering. The only way I could describe it, 10 yards wide, but it had like these little black spots. Maybe there were windows, but if you just took a pancake and painted it silver, that's what it looked like, floating in the sky and just slowly drifted away.
Man, I'm jealous.
Yeah. I mean, I played back my video footage on my computers, and I can't find anything on it. You know, that's something else, you know, a lot of people, you know, need to start doing, keep talking about the UFO phenomenon, because I know my family members, you know, a lot of people just throw you under the bus when you talk about it. It's really unfortunate.
Well, you know, they just they don't understand it, and you know, it's kind of a sad world when people are so close-minded to the UFO phenomenon. It's an unidentified flying object. Get over it. It could be reverse-engineered alien technology. It could be extraterrestrials. It could be military, just straight up, 40 years in advance that they're just you're not sharing with the public, only the way they want to do it in this subtle way to kind of keep people mystified. That's other theories, but, you know,
yeah, I mean,
at least have an open mind to that.
Just think about the military technology. I mean, could it be invisible? Have you seen the video in Japan of the invisibility cloaks? You know, the mirrors?
I know they're mastering it right now, pretty much. You could put the suit on and pretty much project whatever's behind you in front of you on your clothing, and therefore you become the Predator now. Predator does exist. That technology's out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can look all the way back to the 40s. Do you study New Swabia in the German Third Reich after the war ended?
No, go ahead. Enlighten us again. We in the world.
Well, you know, it's really interesting. I highly doubt that Hitler committed suicide, but he actually went on a submarine down to New Schwabi. It's in Antarctica on the tip. Just type it on Google and it'll come up. Anyway, after the war ended, about 3,500 to 5,000 Germans actually were down there mining nuclear weapons and UFO technology. And I believe it was 1953. Type in UFOs 1953, go over the White House. I'm sure you've seen that video.
They buzzed it, no doubt about it. Bunch of blue orbs.
Yeah, well, it might have been the Nazis in Antarctica. Admiral Byrd, he was supposedly made it to Hollow Earth a few years before this at the North Pole. And when he went down there, it was supposed to be an expedition just for animals and stuff like that. Next thing you know, Americans get down there, and we actually took a couple hundred casualties and then went back only after a few short weeks.
What the reign of Hitler and that whole Third Reich and this World War II, just the advance of technology just through the military war machine, it just happened too fast. Where did all this technology come from? It just doesn't make sense. Through the years of man, we've been around 2-3 million years, and then all of a sudden we're building transistors and missiles that could track, and it boggles the mind on how fast things came along. And did it happen just because of the war machine? I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it's called Operation Paperclip. It's really interesting. It was kind of a running joke back in the day in the 40s and 50s during the Cold War, who got the better German scientists. And I studied their technology really closely, and just some of the United States technology they haven't just recently had, probably in the 80s, 90s, caught up to what the Germans had during World War II.
And then basically, thanks to Hitler, we grabbed all his best scientists, and now America reaped the benefits from Hitler's ideas of taking over the world and having the perfect society. But hey, we got to thank him in one sense that if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the power we have right now, being basically, America, the United States.
Yeah, it's great. Back in the New Schwabi, that the UFOs, that's what actually some of the reports got leaked, that these UFO ships, the Nazi Bell, actually was taking out men on the decks. And there was actually a couple submarines that got emerged by Argentina. I think British forces made some submarines come up, and they were carrying mercury and cigarettes for a couple thousand people. It's the Vietnamese.
Apparently, Hitler didn't kill himself, and the top people, the top brass, hid out in Antarctica for many years, and then apparently they took off to the dark side of the moon, and that's where they're still based. Not exactly sure if that's the proper or correct theory, but that's some of the conspiracy out there. What do you think of them moving to the? Did you hear of any of that out there?
I've looked into it. It's really interesting. Well, I think it was 2008. The Navy set up a satellite to take photographs of the moon. If I'm correct, I believe they took 8 million photos, and they only declassified 250,000, and it was pretty much the same photos. But the thing is, when I study these photos, all the smudge marks and the hollow points they put on the tip and the bottom of the moon, kind of like a white Sharpie, I guess you could say.
What's interesting is you just brought that up. This 8 million photos, the satellite that went around the dark side of the moon. We were about to interview somebody, apparently, who was involved with that whole project, and he was about to come forward on Third Phase of the Moon because he saw the video when they went around the dark side of the moon, and he was about to say that he saw the big city. There's a city on the dark side of the moon. It's populated and it's massive, and the man that designed it and was in charge of it, can't reveal the name. He hasn't come forward, but hey, I could say that I heard this, and I'm going to say it to the world. I heard this.
Did he say anything with domes or covering the area. One of my things that I keep questioning is oxygen on the moon. Could it be beneath the moon's surface? And it's, being a realistic question and all.
Well, that's one of the questions I would have liked to ask him, that's for sure. And I hope one of these days he will come forward and share his story and his involvement with the whole thing and have some backup on top of that as well. It's a fantastic claim, and I took it very seriously. We're trying to get that exclusive interview. It was about a year ago when I was introduced from a friend of mine that was a friend of the person that built this satellite system to go on the dark side of the moon. Why don't we get to see it? Why isn't it in the archive very often? Don't they have satellites going around the moon all the time? Why don't we just get an easy satellite going around the moon? Does it even exist?
Like my whole thing is government disclosure. You have, like, when I put myself in a government shoes, thinking about the plan, to make sense, if you're the most powerful, say you're the top 10 powerful people in the United States, you disclose the information, people are going to ask questions. But by keeping the people under control, military, police, keeping the UFO, keeps the money flowing, just exposing too much information, just keeping the population going, almost like keeping everyone in the matrix, Don't let anybody break out of the herd mentality.
They can't give us too much. The human race would get too bored, overload. People forget so quickly about things. It's amazing from, major events, and then months go by, and it's like, oh, what's the next news cycle? So there's this mega structure right off Malibu. I was just asking Brent what to say. We're not claiming it's a mega alien structure. We're just saying it's definitely amazing. It's on Google Maps and it's peculiar. What if it were the real deal and it was exposed on CNN? This ancient alien that's been around for 50,000 years. It's massive. I bet you in a year from now, people wouldn't even care about it too much.
Yeah, I remember reading this one time in one of my suitcases on files upon the moon. It was the time before the moon. I don't remember who wrote it or what time period it happened. They talked about how the moon just appeared one day, like it was built.
Interesting. Hey, people say that dinosaurs have been around not too long ago, that they basically went extinct 3,000 years ago versus 70 million years ago, the Jurassic period.
Funny. I was just looking into that actually earlier this week again, and the big thing is you look at Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great. I came across some things about they're killing them off. Those dinosaurs. One of the problems was they'd run through your troop formations, or I think they're called Tyrannosaurus. The pterodactyls, the ones that fly, correct? But they come down and they pick up the troops.
Why do they have wings?
Yeah, they come down and they pick off troops. So when they're in the caves, it'd smoke them out, and the archers would take them out. The humans killed them off just because they're hurting the military formations.
Yeah, again, and even to say that the pyramids are only 8,000 years old. Apparently, they've been around for 24 to 30,000 years is what some people say. What is it? The scale. They do this. How they modify what age something is. They do the. It's a flawed system. A carbon dating. And the carbon dating system is some people say they have universities that claim that the carbon dating system's flawed and it doesn't work.
There's so many questions. Even the pyramids of Egypt, they're moving 10,000 ton pieces and putting them up. Coral Castle, that kind of gives us a glimpse of what happened.
Talk about this for as long as it took to build the pyramids just to even understand the mystery. It just goes on and on. It's quite amazing. Hey, stand by. Let's go take another caller right now. Welcome to the show. Area code 323. You're live, Third Phase of Moon. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. Open round table. Go ahead. Well, let's go to is Texas still there?
Hey, I'm still here. Hello, unmute me. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to really clarify some of the stuff he was talking about with the Nazi things. the operation was actually called Operation High Jump, and it was the largest expeditionary force that America had assembled prior to World War II. And yeah, it's definitely interesting, and definitely watch the new Captain America movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it basically shows, the NSA had, been infiltrated by Nazi scientists, and it's definitely interesting. And another thing I kind of want to bring up, some technology here that Third Phase of Moon really needs to get into is they have these little telescopes. They're about $8,000, and you can actually watch the sun. They're very high tech. You can set them up on your roof. They have motorized things, and you can just point it straight at the sun and get really high resolution, constant monitoring of the sun, and not to mention, constant monitoring of the moon. And, I'm sure there would be tons of Third Phase of Moon listeners that would just sit there and watch the cameras roll at all hours of the day. But yeah, thanks for letting me hop back on. I'll definitely stay here, and I love what the callers are bringing up, and that story was just fantastic, caller. I mean, wow, just a great story. That's why I come on this show, because you just hear things that you're just not going to hear anywhere else, especially even on YouTube.
Anything to say to that? Appreciate that. That's right. 626 called in, amazing insight. And like you said, we just keep the lines open. We have no pre-show of what we're going to do. We just kind of just let the phones roll and let people share their story. 626.
Hey, what up, Blake?
Hey, welcome to the show. How's it going?
I'm good. My name's I'm Pee-wee. I've called before, but I think maybe like 2 weeks ago, someone was sharing, I think maybe an implant or something, but I had a recall, and all I remember is counting backwards and falling asleep, and I have this scar on my head that hair doesn't grow in that part. Supposedly, it was supposed to grow back, but at the same time, I think it was anything to do with doctors. That's what my mom was telling me.
So you got a scar on your hand. You've had it ever since you were a little kid, and your mom explains, was it a medical procedure?
Well, she went to the doctor to explain what the scar is all about, and they're, your hair is gonna grow, but like I said, I just recall, like if I was in a bed, looking up, lot of light, and like if someone was performing something on me.
Well, you know what, Pee-wee, it's quite interesting you bring up the scar phenomenon. We are going to be doing an exclusive update on, it's basically part 2, the alien abduction diaries. We had people come forward, and we had our camera crews interview right there on location in Los Angeles, people of their fantastic alien abduction experience. And we're going to do part 2, the alien abduction diaries, part 2 coming up, or in production this week. Hopefully we could get the whole documentary up in a couple weeks here quite quickly. And there's this one case of a person that's going to be sharing his story in regards to his abduction experience and strange handprints on his body. So some pictures exclusively. He says that they're the alien handprints that have, basically, left impressions on his body. Quite interesting. We're really excited to give that to Third Phase of Moon, for free. We're going to put it out there, the whole entire documentary, Alien Abductions, the Diaries, Part 2. Everybody stand by for that. I wanted to thank everybody for joining us right here at Third Phase of Moon. It's been an incredible radio show, a lot of new information, incredible insights, We're going to be posting this video on YouTube exclusively. Everybody stand by for that. It's going to be an incredible radio show. I wanted to give everybody some last words here. All the way, thank you, 292. Any last words to the viewers from around the world?
I really appreciate y'all guys letting me come on the show, and sorry I didn't have any, I could go into a lot of detail about some previous experiences, but I definitely haven't had any extraterrestrial contact in quite some time, and I think it's just because I definitely, I hate to say it, but I fear them in a way, because they're just so amazing, and you guys are amazing too. And thanks for letting me come on, and thanks for the other caller telling his story. It was very enlightening.
Hey, thank you so much, everybody. That's what we do right here at Third Phase of the Moon. Share the people's stories, share it to the world. Don't be afraid. The world's not that big. We're all actually quite in a small place now that we're all connected with the internet. We are open to share the stories, and it gets out fast. We got the following, so if you want to get it out to the world, you got something incredible, submit it to us, and you're going to do it to 200,000 subscribers around the world via our Facebook. We've reached our max with 5,000, and our Google+, Twitter. When you talk to Third Phase Moon, you are talking with the world. So everybody, again, keep your eyes on the skies, be safe, and we'll see everybody again next time. My name's Blake Cousins.